Like, that just... Like, honestly, it would be more... If you went to Displace Beast, I wouldn't waste the global cooldown on a Fury Swarm. I would use that... Like, Fury Swarm, in my opinion, is more of, like, an in-combat thing. You don't...
So, it'd be a lot more geared towards speccing into Tireless Pursuit. So, maybe some of these talents that we're writing off as not that useful become useful when you get certain other talents. I think Blizzard may be a little bit smarter than we're giving them credit for here.
Definitely.
Just maybe. That's a stretch, but...
Cough, cough. Anyways, yeah. Balance, great. You know, you get a slow now. Feral, 6 seconds slow, good, more control.
Yeah.
Guardian, PvE, I'm guessing ads.
It's a threat. No, they have the whole... It's going to be a threat generator.
That
has to be the reason they're putting... Because 76 is such an insignificant amount of damage that this literally the only reason they would put that out there is for threat gen.
Another thing is Ferals. As a cat, you actually throw up your Fury Fire as it is now for that extra armor pen. For the armor reductions. Now, well, this you know, it adds a bonus slow, and also it decreases the targets by 12% rather than whatever it currently is. So that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as tanking goes, yeah, it'll be good for threat, armor pen, everything. Kind of lost my train of thought, but
well, we can come back if it pops into your mind. But I guess we'll move on. This one's yours.
Yeah. Okay. Mass entanglement. I'm gonna take a guess at what this is before I even read it. It's an AOE roots. Okay, calling it now.
Okay.
Okay. 14% base mana, 30-yard range, 2-second cast, 1-minute cooldown. Roots all enemies within 12 yards. Yes. Of the destination. 12 yards to the destination, so I guess it's like a targeted thing.
Right.
For 8 seconds. Damage caused may interrupt the effect. Cannot be cast while in bear form or cat form. Okay. So they're kind of giving bears and cats the shaft there. Then again, I don't really know that much what you would want as a melee class to rhythm in place.
Exactly.
To get away, maybe?
Well, you have to cast it anyways. So if you're a bear or a cat, you don't quite need to cast unless it's like serious healing or legitimate CC. Yeah. This one's a root. This is just slow. It stops them in the track. They can still heal. They can still cast. This is pretty much strictly for melee. So...
Wait a minute, but here's what I don't understand so far after reading that for the first time. It roots everything within 12 yards for 8 seconds. Does that mean that anything that steps in the zone you cast it in for 8 seconds will get rooted? Or... That's kind of has to be what it means, right?
No. Because once it hits them, it's for 8 seconds. Okay, think of it as like...
Yeah, I wasn't reading that right. So it's an 8-second root.
Yes, it's an 8 seconds root. What Blizzard is announcing, or what they announced this last patch, is that they're changing CCs for PvP only, so that the maximum duration of any CC form out there is 8 seconds. 8 seconds is the maximum you can get. So there's no more, like, minute-long repetins back in the old days.
Is that why my sap sucks now?
Yes.
Okay.
Before you could sap your target for, like, 60 seconds and have, like, 10... whatever, you could have multiple saps before the sap actually ran out. And that's how you could, like, 2v1, pretty much. Right? So... But they reduced that because they don't want things to be like that.
That makes sense. I get it.
Right.
Doesn't mean I have to like it, but
right.
Yeah. So it's an 8-second AOE route that you get to target, which is really good. I mean, it doesn't mean that it can't be next to you. You can put it right where you're standing in your hitbox. So I assume it's going to work something like the targeting for spells like Heroic Leap or like Rain of Fire or Blizzard or things like that, where you just target it in a certain area and you get your little trigram circle thing where you get to place it on the ground and you know exactly the area that it's going to affect.
I don't know, I find it more like a Frost Mage's Pet Freeze.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the same thing. It's the targeted thing. It's just you get that little green circle that shows exactly the area it will affect.
What you said was Rain of Fire. Rain of Fire, anything that steps in within the range.
I know. I'm talking about the targeting system, not the actual...
Yeah, I understand. I said it was like more related to the pet freeze.
Yeah. So, and it acts within 30 yards, so it's like a standard kind of spell.
Mhm.
Um, Even if you're not using the multiple... Wait, is there a set number of targets that it say that it could?
All enemies.
All enemies. Okay, so it literally everyone. There's no limit to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, like even if it's like a one-on-one scenario, this is still awesome because it won't share a cooldown with your other roots, like your instant cast whenever you get hit root. I think it's called like Nature's Grasp or something.
Nature's Grasp. Yep.
And it won't share a cooldown with your regular root.
Oh
But
wait, are you talking about diminishing return cooldown?
Well, no, yeah, I'm getting to that. It'll probably share diminishing returns.
Oh,
Just
definitely.
like how the multiple Warlock Fears share the same diminishing return. But it's just another method to put it out there.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's casted fine. I don't see why it wouldn't be casted. It'd be really overpowered if it was instant.
Exactly.
But does that mean can you cast while targeting, or do you have to like commit to your target spot and then wait 2 seconds? So you probably have to do that.
You probably yeah.
Okay, well then it's a
Balance.
little iffy.
Well, let's just leave it at that, and then go at the specializations, and I guess how they would affect that. So like, we'll go with balance.
Uh-huh.
Good. I really don't
Very good.
see this. I really don't see this in PvP. I mean, that's just my opinion. I see it really helpful. Like, I see it in PvP, but I see it really, really beneficial in like PvE for CCs. Say if there's ads, multiple ads.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I definitely see that. I mean, I played a Boomkin Druid in raids for like the whole last expansion and a half. So, if I could have done that with a lot of fights, like say, what's it called? One of those first fights in BWD with the giant worm thing. If you could like root all those ads into place, that would make the fight 1,000 times easier. Even though, yes, it's already really easy. Don't judge me, but I'm talking like when it first came out, kind of thing.
Right. And this is the beginning of the next expansion, and everything so far of the past, experiences, at the beginning of expansion, it's always going to be rough.
Well, I mean, there's always hard content to do. There's always progression.
Right.
But
Right.
there's always fights with lots of ads. I see where you're going. It's definitely going to be usable in PvE, even though it, like, at a first look, it just looks like a PvP talent, but it will have its uses.
Mhm. You just got to think about it, preference, and how your raid group does everything, and how all the talents work together as one just big group. So, we'll see how that works out.
Now, Feral and Guardian, it's not usable in bear or cat form, which means, are they going to completely do away with stance dancing? Like, will people actually ever want to do this? Or if you go Feral or Guardian, are you just going to completely avoid this talent altogether? Like, I think they're trying to make it so that stance dancing almost doesn't exist anymore. But this could be, like, if this turns out to be a really good spell, it could be a reason to do a tiny bit of stance dancing. I don't really know. Like, maybe in an arena scenario, but then again, arena partners usually aren't that close to each other. And if you're going to shapeshift out, I mean, roots is the 2-second cast. You might as well just cast the regular roots. It's not, like, if there's only one target, I'd almost like to just cast the regular roots, because you're going to get them no matter what, and it's not a targeted thing, where you're just, like, hitting a spot on the ground.
Right.
So this does have a drawback in the fact that, like, if it was an instant cast, I would just use it no matter what.
What this would be really good for, in PvP, what I'm seeing is rated battlegrounds, or battlegrounds in general. Like, if they're going as a group, you can get a free, say a Warsong Gulch, right? You want to get to the flag before them, you want to slow them, as much as possible, so that they're at your, closer to your base. If they ever get the flag, you guys can get them as soon as possible, right? You get, one of the druids has this. They can throw that down, because they always run by, as like a group. Unless, they decide the tactic of
the
heading...
tunnel. You
the
just,
tunnel.
like, that 12-yard radius will probably be, like, the entire door entrance to the tunnel. And if you time it perfectly, they'll all just run out and get rooted.
Exactly. Well, like, if there he goes.